Alright guys, so this is your next question from Cat 23 slot 2. You can pause the video and solve it and resume the video for the solution. Alright, so it's a combination of profit and loss and special equations. Amazing question, slightly lengthy but very much doable. Let's see how we deal with this. Jayant bought certain number of white shirts at the rate of 1000 per piece and certain number of blue shirts at the rate of 1125 per piece. Let the number of white shirts be W and the blue shirts be B. The cost price per piece of the white shirts is 1000 and the blue shirts is 1125 per piece. So we can find out the total cost price. The total cost price will be 1000 into W plus 1125 into B. This is your overall cost price. For each shirt, he then set a fixed market price 25% higher than the average cost of all the shirts. What he's doing is he's marking up the price of all the shirts by 25% higher than the average cost of all the shirts. So the average cost of all the shirts is the total cost upon the number of shirts. So the average cost price per shirt will be 1000 into W plus 1125 into B divided by total number of shirts W plus B. On this, he is applying a markup of 25%. So the mark price per shirt can be found as this entire thing 1000 W plus 1125B upon W plus B multiplied by 1.25. He sold all the shirts at a discount of 10%. So the selling price will be this entire thing. The selling price would be this entire thing multiplied by 0.9. There's a discount of 10%, right? This is the selling price per shirt. So the total selling price will be now this entire thing 1000 W plus 1125B upon W plus B into 1.25 into 0.9 into the total number of shirts will be W plus B. W plus B gets cancelled out. So next step we multiply 1000 W into 1.25 into 0.9. So 1.25 into 1000 is 1250 into 0.9 is 125 times 9, 1125 into W plus 1125B into 1.25 into 0.9. For this you can use your on-screen calculator. This gives us 1265.625 total cost selling price for all the shirts. And we have been given the total profit. For that we subtract the total cost price. This was our total cost price. This we subtract from the total selling price. So the profit will be 1125 W minus 1000 W is 125 W plus 1256.625 B. From this you subtract 1125 B. That gives us 140.625 of B, and the question tells us this profit is worth 51,000. So now we get rid of everything completely and we focus only on this one equation. 125W plus 140.625B is 51,000. Okay, so now we start some mathematical jugglery. We'll first divide throughout by 125. So 125 upon 125, 140.625B upon 125, 51,000 upon 125. Here I'll be left with only W plus 140.625 divided by 125 will be 1.125B, and this should be equal to 51,000 divided by 125. This will give me a 408. To remove the point, I multiply by 8. I will get 8W plus 1.125 into 8, guys. 1.125 into 8 should give me a 9. 408 into 8 is 32 and 64. This is a linear equation and we have to find out the maximum possible total number of shirts. So maximize the value of W plus B. For that, we observe that one possible solution to the equation will be B is 0 and W is 8 4s are 32 and 8 8s are 64. In this case, the value of W plus B is 408 plus 0, and that is 408. The sum of the values of W and B coming out to be 408 plus 0, and that is 408. Now this was a type in the answer question in CAT, guys, and many people excitedly mark the answer or type the answer as 408 without reading the question properly. The question tells us that in the last line, if we bought both colors of t-shirts, that means B here cannot be equal to 0, and the maximum value obviously cannot be 408. Okay, none of these values could be 0. At least one should be there for W and B. So as you've seen in special equations, now this value will decrease by 9, the coefficient of B, and this value will increase by 8, the coefficient of W. So 408 minus 9 is 399, and 0 plus 8 is nothing but 8. The sum of W and B in this case is 399 and 8, that is 407. If you further go subsequently, this will further decrease by 9 and become 390. This will further increase by 8 and become 16. So now the sum would become 406. The sum would further go on decreasing. So the maximum possible value of W plus B, or the total number of shirts that he could buy, is 407. Very lengthy, but very doable question. It will take some time. Something that you must attempt towards the end of the exam in round 3 probably. And that is your answer, 407.